Life just make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town
Good afternoon, we're listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Make We Talk program here on WZPP and WZOP, the voice of the Caribbean, the number one talk show in South Florida. I am your host, Jeffrey T. The number to call is 850-446-0562. It's an open line today, and we're going to speak about local government election in Jamaica to cost 1.7 billion Jamaican dollars. That's the local government election in Jamaica to cost the taxpayers of Jamaica $1.7 billion. We're going to speak about that. And also, we're seeing where Camellia Johnson Smith is calling for stronger global partnership to help the Caribbean to stem the flow of guns and drugs across its borders. That's what we're going to talk about today. There are so many things happening around the world, but today we're going to debate on a $1.7 billion local government election. Going to cost the government, going to cost taxpayers in Jamaica to go to the polls whenever the Prime Minister call it. Going to cost Jamaicans $1.7 billion. You know, a lot of people are saying that they're paying $1.7 billion. They're paying $1 billion for census, and now they're paying $1.7 billion for local government election. A lot of people are saying to themselves, what on earth is going on? Jamaica has so much money. That's what a lot of people is asking. And yet they're complaining about hospitals don't have any beds and all those things. There is also an article in the Jamaica Gleaner that I wanted to get up here and read to the listening audience that Jamaicans are preferable. They prefer the presidential. Let me read it. More Jamaicans have indicated a preference for an executive president over a ceremonial president. Over a ceremonial head of state, rather, in the country. Let me read that all over again. More Jamaicans have indicated a preference for an executive president over a ceremonial head of state if the country were to transition into a republic form of government. The latest Dan Anderson poll has found that 36.1% of 1,010 Jamaicans surveyed want a president with widened powers. A ceremonial head of state enjoys support of 30.1% of the population, so they prefer to have a ceremonial president, while 36.1% of Jamaicans say they prefer to have an elected head of state. And I agree with them. We don't want a ceremonial head of state. We want somebody who is elected by the people, for the people, and of the people. If we decide to say bye-bye to Uncle King Charles, that's what we need. If we decide to say bye-bye to Uncle King Charles in London, England, we want to have a president who is elected by the people. And we also want to have the final court of appeal, or the final court should be the Caribbean Court of Justice. It cannot be that we say bye-bye to Uncle King Charles and then we have London to be the final court, the Privy Council. No. It has to be that we say bye-bye to Uncle King Charles and we have our final court to be the Caribbean Court of Justice. Well, the good lady Camellia Johnson Smith, in addressing the 78 United Nations convention that held in New York a few days ago. It was Tuesday, I think she did this. Camilla Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, is calling for a stronger global partnership to help the Caribbean to stem the flows of guns and drugs across its borders. The lady was speaking at a UN General Assembly in New York. And we have the audio clip in here with the good little Jamaica's Foreign Affairs Minister. And we're going to play it to make everyone hear it.
We simply cannot, however, win this fight alone. Small island states like ours with porous... We simply cannot, however, win this fight alone. Small island states like ours with porous borders rely on global partnerships to combat trafficking in persons, arms, and drugs. Jamaica does not manufacture guns or ammunition. Countries that do and which serve as major consumers of drugs must do more to prevent their outflow and to fight these elements of transnational organized crime, which have massive impacts on developing countries like ours in the Caribbean region. Last year, in this very hall, Prime Minister Holness called for a war on guns comparable to the war on drugs. As he also said more recently at the International Drug Enforcement Conference, which Jamaica co-hosted, I quote, "The war on drugs must be reciprocated, complemented, and fought in parallel with the war on guns. Our joint efforts not only seek to combat illegal firearms and drugs, but also to fortify international collaboration, reinforcing our pursuit of justice and security. We also recognize the threat posed to peace and security in the digital space, and therefore continue to work to advance our domestic capacity as well as multilateral efforts to address cybersecurity."
Wow. To address cybersecurity. Well, let us leave Lady Camilla Johnson-Smith's speech alone and let us go to local government election. It's constitutionally due between now and next year. I see we're in the Minister of Finance, the world-class Minister of Finance, is saying that Jamaica taxpayers will be putting up 1.7 billion Jamaican dollars for the local government election. It's not me who say it. It's all over the news. But let's listen to what the minister said.
The government has set aside $1.7 billion for the staging of local government elections. That's according to the third supplementary estimates of expenditure tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
No more delays. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke on Tuesday tabled the third supplementary estimates of expenditure, moving the budget up to just over $1.094 billion. That's an increase of $58 billion over the second supplementary estimates. As a part of the allocation is funding for the now thrice postponed local government polls.
The net increase of $1.4 billion on the recurrent programs is therefore the end result of adjustments that include $1.7 billion allocated for the holding of local government elections within the fiscal year, $480 million to the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, of which $400 million is for social housing and $80 million to support the trucking of water by the NWC to drought-stricken areas. $420 million to the Ministry of Local Government, of which $100 million for the cleanup of town centers, $200 million for community roads, $120 million for indigent housing, and $60 million for the trucking of water.
The polls are currently due by no later than February of next year. However, the allocation would suggest an earlier date. Also making up the bulk of the increased estimated expenditure is a $37 billion.
Now tell me something now. I am not an accountant, and I don't profess to be one. I do the little auditing in school, but I don't profess to be a mathematician. Now tell me something. A country, Jamaica's debt stand at $2.2 trillion. That's Jamaica's national debt. Both of it hosts people inside of Jamaica and people outside of the land of wood and water. Our national debt stands at 2.2 trillion. The budget for the financial year 2023 to 2024, sorry, 2022 to 2023, I don't remember, anyway. Then the budget for that was 1.something trillion dollars. Remember, they told us that they can't have no money. They'll have no money to call a local government election. All of a sudden, Jamaica's world-class Minister of Finance, Uncle Nigel Clarke, is saying it's going to cost the country of Jamaica $1.7 billion for local government election. Then if they should call the national election, the general election, how much it now cost me? $40 billion? If you want to take part in this discussion, you can call 850-446-0562. That's 850-446-0562. Call and tell me your opinion on this. Our national debt is at 2.something trillion dollars or $2 trillion. And to host the local government election either this year or next year, it's going to cost Jamaicans $1.7 billion. That's a local government election. And if we were supposed to call the general election, I would very much like to know from the Minister of Finance, how much would it cost the Jamaican people? Would it cost us 40 billion? Because if you said it's $1.7 billion for only the local government election, I'm not saying we have to spend money to call an election, yes. But we spend $1 billion on taking up census. And then we're going to spend another $1.7 billion on local government election. When the general election is constitutionally due, I want to know if it's going to cost the Jamaican people maybe $40 billion. So if that is the case, we have money. We have money left, right, and center. We're not poor. We're not poor at all. We have money to give a wagga wagga. Let me start speak some proper English now. Obviously, the government of Jamaica have money to give away. I have a call coming into the studio here. Hold on.
Bye.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Make We Talk. Okay. When we lose the person. Obviously, we have money to give away. Because if we have money to spend $1.something billion, let me not say anything too much about this, because I want to find out something from some friends of mine that I know within the hierarchy of the effluent of society. The people of the Vumva and the Vumva that I always speak about. Yes, we have some of them who is my friend, I'm going to ask them some questions. $1.7 billion. And our budget for the financial year was $1 trillion. Okay? And our hospitals, the Cornwall Regional Hospital, it is overrun by how much billion? The Sablema Hospital is in need of bed and other things. The KPH is in need of a lot of things. The KPH is in need of a lot of things. And we're going to spend $1.7 billion on local government election. when the people of our country is in need of help. And the government of Jamaica, led by His Excellency, the Most Honorable Bro God Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of the great nation of Jamaica, then Prime Minister and world-class Minister of Finance. I have to ask the question over. If the local government election is costing 1.7 billion, then when you decide to call the local government election, Andrew, how much going to cost the people of Jamaica? We're not the great country up west, or up north. We're a little 2x4 nation that don't have anything. Because we sell off every single thing that we have. The numbers are 850-446-0562. Let me go a little bit slower. The number to call into the program is 850-446-0562. That's 850-446-0562. By the way, I must let our listeners and viewers on YouTube know that come October 2nd, my special guest will be opposition leader Mr. Mark Golding. That's October 2nd, that's next Monday. We're live on this radio station here and also on the Mekwito Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Our special guest will be opposition leader Mark Golding. He will be my special guest for the hour next Monday. So join us for a robust discussion with opposition leader Mr. Mark Golding. He will be live on the Mekwito program here on WZPP and WZOP, and also live on the Mekwito Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. So send out this from now. Let everybody like, share, and subscribe. The opposition leader of Jamaica will be on the program come next Monday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. US time, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Jamaica time. That's 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. US time, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Jamaica time. We're going to talk to him and ask him why is it, maybe he can tell us why it is costing the country $1.7 billion to host a local government election. The $1.7 billion for the local government election and the $1 billion for the census could combine and buy 2 MRI, one for Montego Bay, one for KPH, same thing with a CT scan. It could buy some dialysis machine. It could buy some pediatric thing for the Bustamante Hospital. But we are spending that amount of money. I get to understand that there is a 48-hour curfew that has been imposed on section of St. James in the police division. The curfew began at 6 p.m. Tuesday evening and remain in effect until 6 p.m. Thursday evening because some violence broke out in that part of St. James, in that part of Jamaica. We are in some serious times. I see we're in the, let me go back to this here. News out, I think I have a call coming in to the program here. Good afternoon, welcome to Make We Talk.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tavares. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Mr. Tavares, so I'll ask one question, you see? don't you think it's a full time now that we have a government that is elected by the people, for the people and of the people?
Yes, we do. We're supposed to have that, yes.
Because to my understanding, over the past couple of elections, we haven't had that, And my reason for saying that is we have JLP and PNP choosing the government. Because if we have 30% of people in the country that is voting, 37% as in the last election, and those are the people that elected the government, and from that 30%, let's say we got JLP have got 20%, then we'd have had a case where 20% of the people in the country choose the government. That's not a government of the people.
Well, it depends on how much of the people are the one who vote and put them in there, sir.
Eh?
The people is the one who vote and put them in there, sir.
But that's a government of 20% of the people.
Well, the Jamaican people is the one who put them there.
And I agree. I agree that 20% of Jamaican people put them in there.
Yeah. So
what we need to have now, is a larger turnout of people voting. A larger amount of people choosing the government.
I think what happened, sir, the Jamaican people are tired of what is going on in the land of wood and water. And majority of Jamaicans have reached a point where they said enough is enough, they're not voting. And it's a burning shame to see that majority of Jamaicans have decided not to vote. Because majority of Jamaicans are saying they do not see what or who to vote for. The people have been swapping black dog for monkey from 1932 until now.
Yes, sir, while I agree with you that the political climate in Jamaica has turned off a lot of people. So you look on the other way. We can come every day and we're going to quarrel. Every day we're going to quarrel, says, this, that. No, for instance, if this current administration is allowed to get away with what they are doing, there is no way that come the next election or elections after that, PMP going there wouldn't do the same as they do.
Listening to
Sorry for me, we have a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hold on.
FM. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Make We Talk. Caller, go ahead.
Right, as I was saying,
Yes.
right, if we, the people of Jamaica, allow this government to get away with all what they're doing now, all the corruption that we have seen,
Yes.
all of these bangarangs that we are seeing, right? If we allow them to get away with this, then when the PMP comes in power, they are going to assume that they should get away with the same thing. And this has been going on. I say it is full time now. We have a government which is elected by the people. And I urge all Jamaicans to come together and do that. Go out and make your voice heard. If you vote out the JLP now and the PMP comes in, right, and they go on with these bangarangs, we vote them out again. And if the JLP comes back in, and look at we will have a change. I am sure.
And I personally think that the fundamental change we seek in this country, you know, as Jamaicans, don't come from the two political parties. The change that Jamaicans seek will never come from the People's National Party or the Jamaica Labour Party. It has to come from the people themselves. They must demand the change. They must demand a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. They must demand the change that they seek.
And that is the only way we're going to get it. We need to let these people, when the only way we can make them know is at the polls. So we need to make them know that at the polls.
But we have been doing that since 19 how many years? And now we are 61 years old.
A small percentage. Like I just broke it up. The last election, I have 37, bro. 62% of Jamaica did not vote in the last election. 62% of people who are eligible for voting. We're not talking about people who are adults who did not numerate or anything like that. You know?
Yes. So in other words, what you're saying to Jamaicans who are listening to us in Jamaica at the moment.
Yes.
They can go to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, or they can go to wzppradio.com to listen to this program. And what you're saying is that people in Jamaica must go and register to vote. Because if you don't register to vote, you don't have a say in the election. That's what you're saying, eh?
You don't have a say, that is one. And you must go and vote. I do not care if you vote for PNP or if you vote for jail.
Yes.
Vote for whomever you believe is the correct person to run the country.
All right. We have a next call coming in, caller. Thank you very much for calling in.
Okay, Mr. Tavares. Thank
you. Good afternoon. Welcome to Make We Talk.
Good afternoon, Mr. Make We Talk. How are you?
I'm doing good, my good friend.
Hey, listen, you know, when I listen to our countrymen, you feel such a letdown.
Yes.
You know, after that caller talking to you yesterday.
What caller that was?
A lady. She was lamenting how, you know, the government, the present administration, lousy and not deserving of any support and so on and so forth with the corruption, etc., etc. Non accountability. And I thought to and then she pivoted and said, and that's why I think we must give Mark Golden a chance. Give him a chance. And I said to myself, you know, Jamaicans sound so weak.
No, but hold on, my friend, hold on. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, you know. That's her opinion.
And I'm giving mine.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm giving mine. And I'm saying that, and this is the general feel with Jamaicans, you know. You never hear them say, make we start a new movement. We send with kids them, we don't brag and boast, we don't pick to go at this Ivy League college, that the Ivy League college. But I never hear on talk about leadership in our own country. The leadership, to send them go fight the thing, start a movement. create a space. But you're pivoting back to the same people. You will believe that after the PNP inside there, Patterson inside there, stood on him backside for 18 years and did nothing, didn't move the needle, pure corruption scandal. And people are like light bulbs from the poor Cuba. Cuba send the light bulbs to help poor Jamaican black people. And then turn it in a $1 billion height. Right? Who you go Portia Simpson was a disaster. You want to tell me that just the two ringer Rosie?
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, my good friend, because whenever you call in, you make me laugh. Let me ask you a question. How long you leave Jamaica now?
I've left Jamaica for some time. Well, I've never really left Jamaica because all my antecedents are there. All of my family is in Jamaica.
Yes,
so
but you're back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes. In other words, you born comes to Independence, Jamaica, or you're before independence?
Yes, I'm post-independence, Jamaica. Post-independence. So I grew up after came of age after Jamaica had their independence. So I've seen quite a bit of the politics up front. Because I've had friends, I've had relatives who have been in the politics to a very high level. You understand? So I have a good and growing up, one of my past
why I'm asking you the question, Dwayne?
Yeah.
Is that have you seen Jamaicans vote for a third political party in Jamaica? The closest one is the National Democratic Movement. Have you ever seen anybody else?
Party. That was not a real party.
No. Hold on, man.
Yeah.
You know, let's start you sometime, you know.
Bad example that was Bruce Golding vacillating set that clown thing. That was not real party. That was a baby GLP. No. This is the thing. We come back the same old buck down bulla them man them. We then come
the
back.
The same old who?
Yeah, the buck down steel bulla politician them. You know, a steel bulla politician them we still put in our first of all, when them come with the end game and I look good. And then I heard them. I know so them never see you. That was not your party.
So what okay.
Bruce Golding, who was became the leader of the party. He couldn't even win him one seat in a Spanish town.
So okay. So what
them run him out of Spanish town. He could not even retain his seat as a member of parliament.
So what do you think about the UIC with Joseph Patterson?
I had initially thought, this was interesting. I've heard that a lot of bangarang go on in their personal out of order, allegedly, behavior that the leader compromised himself. So the people, that party not going anywhere again, unfortunately. You heard that he said him and his wife retire. I don't know if it's a made-up flyer or what, but there was a flyer going around purportedly connected with him, and he's announced his retirement. So I don't know if it's authentic, if it's a meme, but it was just in circulation. But listen, we're not into personalities, and there's another fledgling movement that is trying to get it back together. But Jamaicans are just big mouth talkers. They don't do no action when it comes to step up. Because there's a movement that I'm very intimately aware of, and I passed on some advice to them, some institutional memory. But our people, man, they need to step up. First of all, they've got to take money to dislodge these clowns who believe that Jamaica is them birthright. This new political class. Andrew,
you know something?
Yeah.
When we, as a people, if we do not, as I said earlier on, if we put in the PNP and we support the PNP for the JLP and we support the JLP for the PNP and we support the PNP for the JLP, We have been
Yeah.
doing that from how long now? We're 61 years old.
Absolutely, yes.
And the UIC come on board. And the UIC is having the bangarang same way. Because
Yeah.
everybody want the power. As what somebody sing, as we fight for the power and the whatever.
The glory, yeah.
Don't you think it's Ernest Smith?
Ernest Smith. Yes,
Don't you think that it's time for the people of our country to stand up and say to themselves, what have we gained since these two political parties in?
Well, people have already done that. And that's why half the island has fled the country. You don't understand. Jamaica fled the country. Not because you don't see them on the boat.
So hold on there. Fleeing the country will help solve the Jamaica's problem that we face.
Well, that is why I'm saying that the Jamaican courage has gone out the window. There's no courage. We don't see ourselves sacrificing for another Jamaica. Jamaicans are liars too, because they purport to love. Do you hear them? Oh, we love Jamaica. I don't know what they love. The beach, the Annie Palmer Great House. What they love over there? The slave food. The
so what you love? What do you love?
Huh?
What do you love?
I am connected with the people. When I see Jamaican people, I am seeing my history right in front of me. You understand? That is what.
So let me ask you something now. Before
if a Jamaican come to the workplace and I'm here, I'm going to make sure to tell them how they can get into the city. You understand?
Yes.
That is what I can see. Whenever I see a Jamaican and I hear them utter this thing, I feel good.
Let me ask you this question though. Before we go, because we don't have enough time here, leave.
Yeah.
What do you think about the $1.7 billion set aside for the local government election?
Okay, that's all right. People are calling for the abolition of the councils because they're not performing, non-performing, and full of corruption. Only little party hacks and supporters get jobs at those municipalities. All right. However, because we have to follow a procedure, it is currently the law of the land that the parish council is part of our governing body. So we can. We have to contest. I was impressing on somebody who has aspiration in the party.
Yeah, but
what you can change it when you get the reins of power. But for now, it is part of our constitutional arrangement.
So what do you think about the amount of money they're spending? They spend $1 billion on taking up census, and now they're spending another $1.something billion.
Well, you see, it's a catch-22 because you can say, well, them shouldn't spend so much, and but then they're gonna say to you that yes, but that's what it takes to spend. We know that. Remember now, there's a condemnation cross on the Holness administration. We know that them have no accountable. They don't rate Jamaicans number one. They only rate those in the Zimbabwe and the whatever value.
You know the who?
The Zimbabwe one.
No man, and that's not the name of it, man.
You can describe it.
The name of it is the Vumvavan, the Vumvavi of the Effluent Society.
Exactly. No, we understand that. So we know that it don't make no sense nitpick everything Andrew Holness administration does. All it does is have you just a chat. It's the action time now. So the people them to do that. You have to organize in the community. Right now there is a fledgling movement that is supposed to be collecting signatures so that they can be officially registered. And you wouldn't believe some of the kind of upgrading I have to give one of the gentlemen. I said, how long you going to take to raise the thing there?
Raise what?
Raise the signatures, for you to register as a party in Jamaica. You have to have X amount of signatures. No, everybody was all excited about doing the thing. And now it's grinding.
But did you know For how many years the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party was operating illegally in Jamaica? That was not registered at all?
But look at even the hospital. When you remember when that girl who they refused, that Jamaican citizen, who they refused citizen, the pregnant woman, that young, beautiful Jamaican girl, when she went up to Andrews Hospital wasn't registered.
And there is so many.
And the Prime Minister, who is a Seventh-day Adventist, is a Seventh-day Adventist hospital, so-called hospital. That's really a training thing. This same Prime Minister, he didn't sanction Andrews.
But what I am saying, the People's National Party, has been in power since, well, the Andrews Memorial Hospital has been there under the Patterson administration, the Siaga administration, the Manley administration, and nobody did a damn thing about it.
No, that's what I'm telling you. Oh, that's what I'm saying. We have a new set of no-nonsense, supposedly, Jamaican picking up. And you see, this is one of the things with the Jamaicans. I mean, you don't teach your children to assume leadership. You send them go to the big fancy college to get all kind of degree. But what about where you come from? You're not going to give up this land where our forefathers slaves to build Jamaica.
But you know, sister, hello, you don't see that the two political parties have sell Jamaica out lock, stock, and barrel. And what
that's why I'm criticizing the lady's comments yesterday.
And that is why we need to ask the both political parties in the land of wood and water, how much they sell the Jamaican people for to the Chinese?
No, we don't need to ask. No, we need to mobilize to put something on the ballot so that people can have an alternative and get rid of them. Then they start lock them up when you gain power. You investigate them and lock up them daylight. When the Jamaican black people preaching, they know. Hey,
then you're not Jamaican to stop saying uno. You're not Jamaican too.
Let me say something to you. I condemn all the elders because they not teach them pick me no history. Every other race of people does it. Them teach them children. The whole now in Jamaican and when the Rastas were showing Jamaican people, say, listen, we have to cultural, we have to control, we have to together, we have to this, we have to that. The whole now laugh after the Rasta. Wanna laugh after them. And see how only the Rasta them left little culture in Jamaica. The damn island do have no culture. Wanna dash for everything at graveside.
You dash for everything to man because you're Jamaican. Stop saying uno.
This is a one Jamaican here. Was conscious under my African name. What you talk about, man?
Let me ask you something. You're not Jamaican too?
Huh?
When you keep on saying uno, you're not Jamaican too?
Who else but a Jamaican needs to spank the whole of women? Is that Jamaican needs to think whether they are fighting a tear down and mash up all the women, them a kill and a rape. That girl up at the University of the West Indies, that blind girl.
Yes.
I am not taking out
what's her name? Dean.
The girl who was
Dean.
I know them can't find her body in a Jamaican society. But who Jesus Christ? Listen,
and oh no,
worthless set of people, no. Phony set of people.
Why you hold on there now? You hold on a minute from me now. Hold on a minute from me now. You keep on saying uno. You mustn't take yourself out of it.
Well,
don't take yourself out of it, man. Because we contribute to the hold on there. Hold on for me. We contribute to the downfall of Jamaica. We are the one who contribute to it. Because we have the powers in our hand and we do nothing about it.
I agree with that.
No, but hold on there.
I've always put out myself on the front. I've always been, even when people say, why the man, I'm not chat so much.
Hold on there. I gotta give you a joke. A friend of mine on the YouTube channel, Tessa Taylor, is saying, you're making her cracking up because you keep on saying uno, like you're not Jamaican.
let me tell you, man. No, but we have that Jamaica. We have to rise up, man. I mean, we have too much brain power. We have resources. A $4 billion send go back in Jamaica every year. But look here, and that's just through the wire transfer.
And that is why I'm saying, caller. That's why I'm saying, if the members of the diaspora send back $4 billion a year to the economy of Jamaica, the members of the diaspora must have a say in the constitutional reform of our country. It cannot be.
Right.
It cannot be that when the parliamentarians and the two political parties want money, the fly come to the diasporas for money, especially the United States for money, and go back down. And Dr. Harris Strong is saying in a Zoom meeting that he doesn't want any member of the diaspora to give him any ideas how to fight crime. Just send the money come.
Exactly, and that was very rude and out of order. And the only thing that I appreciated from the Jamaicans here, the diaspora getting smart, is that they gave a resounding boo to Andrew Holness' wife at up in Miramar at the event.
Yes, well, we come to the end of the program.
I'm very happy that the people on this side, so don't come with no rubbish up here.
Yes.
Don't come on a foreign come here with no nonsense. Go down, go fix up the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Thank you for calling in.
Fix up the country. Yeah, come up now with your big self. And there are lots of officials.
Thank you for calling in, man. You and I will talk sometime again. And no, your good friend Juliet Holness is now Speaker of the House, you know. Anyway, we'll talk.
She push up our
we will talk. Have a good day. Have a good day. We'll talk. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man.
Join me again tomorrow for the same Make We Talk program. I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying so long from the program. Join me on October 2nd, 2023, when my special guest will be Opposition Leader, Mr. Mark Golding. He will be my special guest come October 2nd. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Join us this evening at 7 o'clock. This evening at 7 o'clock, we'll be talking about mining in the cockpit country. My special guest will be Herb Nelson Jr., Wilfred Radigan. We'll be on this evening on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Have a good day, everyone.
You will see conflict solver A to Z.
You're listening to